my producer Ryan just got in my ear asking me to clarify something. The last piece that I made is it has to do with Jamahal and the light heavyweights. And let me give this my best shot here, guys, because I feel as though perhaps this is a situation where my tone is not quite in line with my message. And my message is that there's something to see here. I think. I don't know. I need to be very clear about that. I don't have any evidence. I don't have any proof. But to answer Ryan's question and to clarify for you guys, one reason that you would keep the belt, it is directly tied to your sponsorship contracts. Directly. The second that belt comes off you, the second you hand that belt back, you are stopping money that's coming in. It's very relevant that you guys understand that. I know when we start talking about numbers and money, it starts to get a little bit gross and everybody feels uncomfortable, but I do want to share that with you. Like every single sponsorship contract from the beginning of time has a clause for the champion, of which as soon as you are not, the accounting department, I mean, it just changes and the check goes out. A lot of it's getting wired to accounts now. It's very common. It just gets reduced. So I'm just sharing with you, for every month that Jamahal could have kept that belt, we're not in this situation. Oh, by the way, they're not going to just pull it off him. That has never been done, ever, 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 save one exception, Yuri Prohaska, where they did. They pulled it right off of him. They pull it off of Prohaska because of a bad image. MRI, X-ray, whatever. They got an image and it was bad and they stripped him of his belt while simultaneously allowing Francis, who at that point had sat for 10 months, didn't want to be there. Let the world know I don't want to be here and I'm likely not coming back. They let that happen at the same time that one image pulls a belt off of somebody. So I can go back to when George St. Pierre won the 185-pound belt. He kept that for 1 week. Now, 1 week, just so you understand, he gets done with the fight. The rest of that night doesn't count. I think we can agree. The next day doesn't count. That's what's called a travel day. The next day, you're waking up in Montreal. You're trying to unpack your bags. You got a few things going. Then you take a couple of days. You want to make some calls to your coaches. I mean, George St. Pierre basically immediately returned that belt. History will show it at 1 week, which is incredibly fast, but I'm just sharing. He basically won it and handed it right back. And it was amazing when he did it because he had the right. Don't forget, that was now double champ status, which was so rare. I mean, think of all the photos. Remember all those sponsors that George had? Mainstream, Bacardi comes to mind, Under Armour comes to mind, Gatorade comes to mind, right? St. Pierre, but imagine all those pictures, but now he's got 2 belts. He had the right to do that. He gave one back. And he gave one back for the boys, not for himself. If he was doing it for himself, he would have kept it. And he would have got away with that. He would have got away with that scam for at least 1 year. So when you have a guy like Jamahal that gives the belt back, it really is an amazing situation. You are stopping the sponsorship dollars that are coming in, and maybe not in their entirety, maybe just to a percentage, but you're stopping money nonetheless. And I would have to ask you, why? And what I mean is, and I like this, guys. I'm a supporter of this. I'm always on the side of give it back and let them get on with it. Don't hold up a division. I understand that. 2 days ago, if you guys follow me loyally, you heard me say that if Volkanovski goes up to 55, he needs to relinquish 45, right? I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. But what I'm sharing for you is, if you're trying to be fair and you're trying to be an honest and honorable guy, you have sat for 6+ months and never even been given an opponent. So why would you not just to continue to sit, even if you've got this injury that you're dealing with? Why would you not just continue to sit till a minimum of your phone rings? You would have bought yourself some very legitimate time. And that's the part that I don't fully understand. Oh, and you know what, by the way, regardless of my tone and the red face and the veins in the neck, it's the part that I really respect. I mean, this was an extremely selfless move. And most guys, once they get up in the loft, they pull the ladder up behind them. Jamahal was given a massive opportunity. There's a lot of people involved in that. Not only the UFC, not only the rest of the guys in the division. Anthony Smith starts helping and training him. Glover Teixeira steps up, takes the match in his home country. There was a lot of things that happened for that dream to come true. And for him to have it, know how badly this is going to impact him financially and give it back anyway, just so somebody else could have an opportunity. This is very beautiful stuff. This is SB level stuff if people take the time to understand. I don't think that you're going to find a sportsmanship story in sport that can match what Jamahal just did. I want to really give him his praise and his credit for that. But I also want to look at it and say, but what is it that I'm holding up? You don't have a fight for me. You don't have a number one contender out there. We've got this Blachowicz versus Pierre. We know this, guys, but that has never been established as a number one contenders match. Oh, by the way, nor would it be if Prochazka can come back. But Prochazka, who's very good at talking to us and coming to the media and saying things that are halfway inspiration and cool, has no clarity. He has no clarity that I'll be back in a month. I'll be back in 2 months. I'm in the gym. I'm going full speed. I'm calling Dana. We don't have anything like that. We don't have anything going on at that division. And so what would you do? What would you expect a reasonable person to do? If you were within that division, you wanted an opportunity, what would you expect somebody to do? Knowing that if the roles are reversed, what would you do? And I don't know that it's this. Which again, I say is a way of adding credit and praise to what Jamahal did. I'd like to make one final point for you guys. This is very relevant. I just want to get in front of this before the rumors begin to swirl. Jamahal has not, as of this moment, retired. And why do I say that? He's not playing the USADA game. He is not removing himself from the pool to go and deal with an injury. I'm not going to be here anyway. I might as well not do the logistics and the organization of 24/7, 365 whereabouts. I might as well just remove myself from the pool right now. All of a sudden you get these speculation, you get these games. I'm just here to remind you that's not what he did. Take himself out of the company, didn't fight out his contract, didn't argue with anybody, didn't say he was being mistreated. It was quite the opposite. He was very happy, had a wonderful feeling, wants to make sure that 2 other guys are at least given the opportunity to have that same feeling. It's very above board. But that rumor is going to be started. Believe me, that rumor's already out there. I haven't seen it yet. I guarantee it's already out there. Somebody on the they've already put it out, whether it's caught fire yet or not. Let's just make sure we tell the story the way that it happened. He didn't retire. He didn't remove himself. There won't be a return in 6 months. There won't be anything like that. He did this very much at his own peril. And I mean, what incredible irony. We couldn't get the champion a fight for over 6 months. We couldn't even get a rumor of the fight. I mean, what incredible irony if he gives the belt back and we were just put it on the Blachowicz Pierre just by example. Couldn't get the fight in 6 months, boom. Get the fight in 6 minutes. I don't know where this is going to go. But I did want to make sure to draw a distinction in Jamahal giving the belt back and somebody retiring.